Andie MacDowell, Chyler, Leigh, Sadie, Laflamme-Snow star in The Way Home, a brand new series coming to Hallmark Channel this Sunday, January 15th. This is so exciting, especially coming out of the holiday season. I mean, so many families were going through this. What a perfect time for the show to come out.
Yeah, it's excellent. I mean, what a wonderful, publicity like, choice. Like it was fantastic and really gave us such a wonderful opportunity to appeal to, Hallmark's, heart and soul. And that was just so awesome for us to see everything kind of like blowing up so quickly in order to really put us in a prime position so that when we do air, which is in just a few days, hopefully everybody's just tuning in and ready to go on this incredible journey with us.
Andie, you're a grandma. Getting, in the series, we get to see the story through your granddaughter's eyes. Does this feel like a life imitating art moment and project for you?
I did. I recently saw my granddaughter for Christmas, and I have to say that I've never had such a soulful connection through my eyes with her. And it did help inform just how right we were and correct we were with how Dell feels about her granddaughter. And there's a scene that you'll see when they first arrive home where I just shoot right past my daughter. I just don't even pay her any attention and go straight for my granddaughter. And I was like, yeah, this is really, that tells you so much about who these people are. And just, it's so correct. And it's also the journey between us, I think, is really rich in the desire to know my granddaughter. And the healing with us it's a slow process. I mean, it's a lot of pain. There's a lot of pain because of our history. I lost my son. She lost her brother. But because of the magic of the show, the thing that sets this show apart from anything is what happens with my granddaughter and the pond on this gorgeous farm where she happens to go through it and come out in 1999. And
Sadie, let's talk a little bit about the role of Alice and your journey on it and what we're going to see.
Yeah. Well, Andie, you set me up very nicely. So Alice, she ends up on this farm with a grandmother she's never met. She's, a city girl. She's struggling with her parents separating, and she does not want to be there. And not to mention, she is thrown into the middle of a really difficult mother-daughter relationship between her mother and grandmother. So she knows been this tragedy, but she doesn't know why they can't communicate, and they can't even really be in the same room together without being at some sort of odds. So when she gets the ability to time travel back to 1999 before tragedy has struck their family, and actually not just see what happens, but really involve herself and become best friends with her mom as a teenager and see how loving and warm the family was before everything happened, it just sets her on a path of wanting to figure out what it would take to bring us back together and find each other in the present. So she really, throughout the season, you just see her having this mission to find a way for us to have our own new relationship despite everything that's happened to us.
And Kyle, let's talk a little bit about the character of Kat, because you say the words 1999 and it feels like it was 5 minutes ago, and it just shows just how quickly time can pass. And so many families go through that, where they have something from their past that they struggle with, but they try to continue with their new family, but you still kind of struggle with those issues. Maybe some of the feedback you've gotten from, fans and people on social media, as far as like, I go through the exact similar things with my family.
Yeah, I mean, I think personally we could all relate to the fact that if we could go back to the past, could we change things? Would I change things? No, because it's made me who the person I am today. And I think Kat in her own mind would never think of, okay, maybe if I could go back, of course, amidst their circumstances, to kind of find out what actually happened, because Kat feels incredibly responsible for her little brother, kind of like it's a mysterious disappearance of his. So in her case, yes, I think for her to be able to do that, but she's a journalist by trade. And so there's always that sense of like, if I could just put the pieces together. So when she goes back to the farm in 2023, she's trying to have these conversations with Dell, but Dell is pretty closed off about the whole thing, trying to move on. But Kat is literally staying in the room that Dell, has changed over. Now it's no longer Jacob's room, but there's still like the little glow in the dark stars that are on the ceiling, that when Kat kind of like falls on her bed and looks up, it just kind of sparks something in her mind to really try to investigate and figure out what happened. And when, Alice comes back from the pond, she's obviously not relating the fact that she just time traveled, because that's kind of like a notion, I think, that would be very hard to swallow. But she kind of rekindles this sense of, when Alice is asking why, and what, she's now trying to kind of convince herself, maybe it wasn't my fault, even though I feel so responsible. I've just got to put the pieces together.
Mhm.
Amazing. Well, thank you all so much for your time today. Sunday, January 15th on Hallmark Channel. The Way Home is going to premiere. Andie, Chyler, and Sadie, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
having us.